Time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donley Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. And yes, we will have great stories today, some interesting facts, and information about valuables you might have at home. You might want to put at an auction. We're here every Saturday at 1 o'clock talking about that. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm here with Randy Donley. We are the owners of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. We're just 60 miles west of Chicago, right off of I-90 to Route 20. Go north 4 miles, and there's our facility. We're not that far. Today, we are talking about a company whose tagline is, "We are the competition." You know who that is? Yeah, isn't that a great tagline?
That is a great tagline.
If you know what that is, stay tuned, because today we have Ferrari stories. That is the tagline for the Ferrari company. We're going to have Mr. Rick Mancuso himself on the phone with us coming up in our next segment, so don't go anywhere. We just have some great news to announce,
Fabulous.
don't we?
What a guest. I'm so happy to have him on with us today. So
that's right.
You don't want to miss that.
So let's talk about what's happening right now as we speak at Donley Auctions. We are holding a firearm auction right now.
As we speak, it's going
Saturday,
on.
February 17th, as we speak. So get in your car and drive out. You'll be there in time for pizza.
Well, make sure you don't turn the radio off, though. If you're coming on out, make sure you will leave the radio on in your car.
Listening to us for sure.
And if you want to stay at home while the radio is on and you're listening to us, you can also turn on your computers.
That's right.
And live stream it.
Go to your DonleyAuctions.com website, Donley, Donley, auctions.com. Click on the button that says click here to bid now. You can bid immediately.
Sure.
As soon as you get online to see the catalog. There are over 600 firearms today coming up, and tomorrow,
wow, we've got a doozy. It's a military auction, and all kinds of goodies. I mean, from the Civil War to World War II, and right on through the Gulf War, all kinds of very interesting. I mean, be it helmets, uniforms, just belt buckles, insignia, medals. It's there. So that's all day tomorrow. So if you want to come out tomorrow.
One thing, too, that
Sunday.
we didn't mention in our flyer and publications is that the last 100-plus lots are police and fire badges.
Right. If you are a collector.
Scroll down to the bottom. You'll see all those.
If you're a collector of police and fire badges, this is a great auction for you, because all these are being sold. These badges are being sold at no reserve, no minimum.
That's right. And it's been a busy week. We have more firearms coming in the door for our next firearm and military auction in May. You want to tell everybody what some of the items we're looking for May?
Well, actually, I want to back up and first say it's not too early to consign, folks. If you've got items for any of our upcoming auctions, sometimes people will say to me, well, Randy, that's not until April. That's not until June or July.
It's right around the corner.
It's never too early to get the items consigned and booked and even have them picked up by us, because we have to have the merchandise in-house.
We're already advertising for April. Yeah, so
absolutely.
You got to get it here to us. And in order to do that, you have to take the first step, folks. All you have to do is call us at 815-923-7000. That's one step you can take. The second step is to just send us an email at consign@DonleyAuctions.com. Tell us who you are, what you have, and where it's located. I will give that information to our experts, and we will talk to you about next steps.
Well, Susan, another item that you said, tell them some of the things coming up. Another item that just actually came in the door, so to speak.
Oh, is it big and heavy? I bet it is. Oh, my gosh.
We do it. It's generally big and heavy, but a big, giant steam engine, a Peerless model. It's a 10,000-pound steam engine. And, yes, we did go pick it up, and had to haul it.
So it's safe to put on our foundation?
Well, yeah, when we designed that building, we designed it for automobiles and heavy equipment.
Kind of weight?
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. So no problems
sure you thought ahead on that.
But the point is, we need to get your merchandise in here. If you want to sell it, it can't be sold unless we know about it.
That's right. So that's coming up in April, though. The steam engine?
It is.
It's going to be up for auction in April.
Which is around the corner in the auction world.
So let's talk about April, because that is our first major auction of the year. All of our auctions are pretty major.
I think they're all pretty
major. But this one's 4 days. Mm-hmm. It's April 19th through the 21st. It's our annual Spring Classic, and tell them about some of these great items, these cars and...
Well, yeah, we've got all kinds of goodies here. We always, of course, do cars and Petroliana during that auction. We've got this beautiful 1921 Cadillac sedan, all totally restored. What a gorgeous vehicle. And, I mean, many, many more vehicles. We'll talk more about that. But we've got gas pumps, slot machines, jukeboxes, arcade equipment, leaded glass, architecture. It's all going to be for sale in April. So if you have any items of a similar nature,
we're taking them now.
Yep.
But, I wanted to mention, I said the dates were the 19th through the 21st, but on the 18th, which would make it 4 days, is the beer sign collection. We still have hundreds of beer signs to sell. I believe that's going to be on that Thursday.
That will also be in
So all of
April.
that will be on our website at donleyauctions.com, so you can check the calendar.
And, Susan, I always, keep preaching to the choir here that we're looking for all kinds of great stuff.
Every time you ask, we get.
And we do, and I want to thank everybody out there for the amount of amazing phone calls. This week I'm going to be going out to pick up a collection of antique slot machines, more firearms and everything. But a really interesting grouping that walked in, actually a high school friend of mine, people call me from high school, a high school friend actually called and said, hey, I hear you on the radio. His name is Randy, by the way.
And you went to Morton West.
Yes, Morton West High School.
Yeah, people around here.
And he had some military items. And, I was asking everybody if they had groupings from the family, uniform groupings and everything. And Randy consigned the neatest pile of war souvenirs that was actually sent home by one of his relatives. And it was in the original box that all these war souvenirs were sent home in, with the original paperwork and everything. It was addressed to their house in Berwyn and all this. And there's a German helmet in there, Italian helmets in there, belt buckles, all this stuff that a relative boxed up and sent home as war souvenirs. And so here's the provenance. I mean, it's still in the original box that it was sent home in 1945. Incredible.
That's great. So that'll be coming up in our May auction.
May military.
Okay. Great. But, so this Randy guy, did he have some stories about you from high school?
No, there are no stories about me.
I'm going to call him and find out.
Better not. Yeah. So hello, Randy. Thank you for recontacting us. But, Susan, I am currently, I'm putting my shout out there for gangster.
You love gangster stuff, yes.
And Chicago is rich in gangster history. Sometimes people want to hide the fact of the past, when in reality, the past is the past. And if you don't want to repeat, the past, you still have to learn about it. And we do have a rich gangster history here in the Chicago and Cicero, areas and everything. And there's all kinds of gangster memorabilia out there. So if you have or know of anybody with any gangster memorabilia, please contact us as soon as possible.
And speaking of, Valentine's Day was this week. Thank you for the roses, by the way. But remember, a few years ago, we went on the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Tour in Chicago on
Wasn't
Valentine's
that interesting?
Day.
Yes, we did.
So we got to see all those locations where all of that happened. But what a great Valentine's Day that was.
It was.
So that's the kind of stuff we're looking for, all that history.
You bet. And, of course, I'm once again re-asking for cannons. Now, I asked for cannons in one of our last shows, and we've got a bunch of real miniature cannons that actually work and everything, which we're selling tomorrow on Sunday.
Yes, tomorrow on
in
Sunday.
our auction. Mm-hmm. Again, you called us with cannons, and I appreciate that, but I want full-size cannons. If you're a municipality and want to get it out of the park or what have you, we can help you by doing that. So, and attorneys, don't forget to call us with any estate collections, large collections of antiques that you need us to help move.
Well, just today you were mentioning about the vehicle that's inside our facility that
big old Cadillac.
Yeah, it looks like the ones from the movie
Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah. So there you go. Got to come out and see it. So, again, give us a call at 815-923-7000. If you have any items to consign or you just need a quick evaluation of something you have, because, you know, not everybody knows what it's worth and how to navigate through the Internet to find out. Give us a call. You can email us at consign@donleyauctions.com for more information from us.
And don't forget,
to say?
We've got Rick Mancuso coming up.
Yes, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about Ferraris and an incredible auction we have coming up.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. Rick Mancuso coming up next. And we'll talk more about upcoming auctions. And Shauna will be on the line with us, too, in a few seconds.
And you're going to have a trivia question.
Oh, I got a trivia question. Yes, I'll bring that up first thing in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I'm co-owner of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, here with Randy Donley and our special guest today, Mr. Rick Mancuso, a third-generation car dealership owner in Ferrari, Lake Forest, since 1982. Good morning, Mr. Mancuso. Thanks for joining the show.
Good morning. Please call me Rick.
I will from now on.
Buddy. Hey, Rick, I first have to tell everybody out there, just if anybody comes to your Ferrari dealership, there's no way to just not be floored and totally blown away and impressed, because there is no other showroom anywhere like yours. Your place is absolutely magnificent, I have to say.
Well, thanks. I completely agree with you. There isn't a day that I don't walk in and spend time in service just walking around and looking at some of the cars in for service. And on the way out, looking around the showroom and going, I got to be one of the luckiest guys ever.
Yeah.
Well,
they really are.
Yeah, luck
So
after
great.
all years and years of hard work, of course. We know how that goes. But,
Sure.
Rick, we're honored. We're telling everybody today that we are going to be doing an auction with you. And I'm just absolutely thrilled about this auction because, well, not just because I'm working with you, of course, but the merchandise that you have, all these vintage Ferrari signs, and there's Lamborghini and all kinds of incredible things. You know, one thing that most people probably don't know out there is how protected the Ferrari brand is. So if people wanted Ferrari signs in their man caves and everything, they can't go buy replicas of these things because Ferrari doesn't allow that to be made. But Ferrari is so protective. If you want a Ferrari a sign in you have to buy it real, and you have to buy it original, and you have to now buy it from the Mancuso auction.
That's right.
Because you really can't buy it anywhere in the world. They're not for sale.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait.
It is probably the most protected brand, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It is.
It's
It
like
seems
Disney
heavy-handed
and
at times.
Coca-Cola. And yeah, very protected.
I understand it. You know, every year we end up at Monterey. We have one of our meetings out there with the dealers, and many of the executives from Maranello are there. And we sit down and we have many nice conversations over the course of this. And Enrico Galliera is just a wonderful guy. He's the face of Ferrari. He's the commercial sales director for the world. And he asks me every year, we even kind of laugh about it, is how are things Ferrari? And my answer is always this: I've never felt more appreciative, nor have I ever felt more protective. So I understand the way they feel as well.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, Susan was doing some research, and I was shocked to find out how the Ferrari trademark or logo, so to speak, even became an item.
That's right. And, you know, I love classic cars, and I did not know a lot about Ferrari until I started doing my research here, and just a little bit of history on it. The story of Ferrari begins around 1929, of course, with Enzo Ferrari in Italy. And, you know, the logo, what I thought was very interesting of the history of how it came about with the World War I ace Francesco Baracca and how he
Correct.
was shot down during combat, passed away. His family said they would allow
The insignia.
to be used for the winner of the race. I can't remember the name of the race that happened in Italy at the time, but the winner of the race was Enzo.
Yes.
So he got to use that logo in his design of the cars. And
What a
there's the history.
interesting, rich, historic event. Just the logo alone. I mean, but the cars are truly amazing.
Well, yeah, it looks like the patch from the war.
Yeah.
The
Well, then he
insignia
took
for it.
the Cavallino and he surrounded it in yellow, which was from the Italian flag in the city of Modena. And then he surrounded it with the colors from the red, white, and green from the Italian flag, and that's how it all came together.
I'll be darned. I do have a trivia question, though. I always like to have our shows with a quick trivia question so people can think about it. And, Rick,
Sure.
you probably know the answer to this, so don't say anything yet. I'll give the answer in our last segment. But which James Bond movie featured the Ferrari F355 Targa GTS Coupe? Do you know the answer? Don't say anything if you do.
I won't.
Okay, it is one of
I
the.
don't remember the.
It's one of the
I don't remember the
greatest
answer.
chase scenes in James Bond movies, probably in all movies. But here was the line: his passenger was a woman in the car with him as they were chasing the Ferrari. He's in his Aston Martin. He's chasing the Ferrari around these windy country roads, and she says, "What are you doing? Are you showing off the size of your?" And he goes, "Engine." And she goes, "No, your ego." So what movie was that? I'll give the answer at the end.
But, you just mentioned James Bond and with his Aston Martin. And you even have Aston Martin signs and memorabilia in this fabulous auction we're going to be doing. Did you at one time sell Aston Martins, Rick?
Yeah, we were the longest tenured Aston Martin dealer in North America. We became an Aston dealer in 1980.
Wow.
And we had it until 2016. So we spent 36 years with Aston Martin.
Absolutely incredible history with your company, and of course we are going to be selling a few cars at your auction. Is it too soon for us to mention what they are? Because we're going to be talking about this more between now and the auction, or do we keep people in suspense at this point?
Excuse me. I fine to talk about the cars when they have a few more that we want to add in as well, which you and I can talk about at another time. So.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And a couple of the cars actually that we're going to have in your auction that we know of, we're going to be putting some racing vehicles up for sale at auction, which are just phenomenal. We've got a Richard Petty car, and
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
And there's more. Again, we're going to keep people in suspense because we're going to be talking about this a lot. But between now and the auction.
Rick, I just had a quick question. How did you and your family get started in this business? I know you are a race car driver and you were a ski instructor and all kinds of great things. You're now involved with the Navy SEALs. Tell us a little bit about how your family got involved in the Ferrari family.
The unofficial story, and now has become the official story, is my grandfather was in upstate New York. He was a plumber. And as the story goes, sometime during the 20s, there was a shortage of certain liquid refreshments in the United States, namely alcohol. And he was right on the Canadian-American border in Batavia, New York, where I was born. And he had 4 or 5 cars sitting out front, and the rumor is that he was enlarging the liquid carrying capacity of some of these vehicles. So that they could be driven around. And the guys from General Motors were driving around looking to get dealers. They drive by this plumbing store and they see 4 or 5 cars out front and they think he's a used car dealer. So they walk inside and they ask him, "Would you like to be a Chevrolet dealer?" And his answer to everything was almost always, "Why the hell not?" And so that's how he became a Chevrolet dealer in 1923.
Wow. And it's so funny because in our last segment before we brought you on the show today, we've been asking for vintage gangster memorabilia and Prohibition era and everything. So that really ties right in with another one of our upcoming auctions. Incredible.
Absolutely. All world.
It is. Now, again, I want to remind everybody, folks, that this auction is coming up. We have not set a date for it yet. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous event. And
it's going to be held on site at the Ferrari dealership in Lake Forest, correct?
Right, correct.
Now, officially, is that a Lake Forest address or is that a Lake Bluff address?
It's Lake Bluff, technically.
Lake Bluff.
It is.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Right on the line between the two. They're like one community anyway, Lake Forest and Lake Bluff. But we were originally in downtown Lake Forest from 1980 until 2005. And then we needed a larger footprint, so we ended up in Lake Bluff from 2005 on until today.
Again, an incredible facility. Anybody would be blown away to see it. A real quick question. Will you have time to come back for the next segment? We've got to take a break here.
I have more questions, too.
So do you have time for one more, Rick?
Yes. When? Right away?
All right.
You
Rick
bet.
Mancuso from Ferrari, Lake Forest. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to ask him a few more questions after this segment. But right now, you're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday at 1 o'clock on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan here with Randy Donley, and our special guest today is Rick Mancuso of Ferrari, Lake Forest. We're talking about an upcoming auction of some incredible Ferrari-related items and vehicles. Hi, Rick. Thanks for sticking with us.
No, good morning.
Thank you again. I want to talk quickly about, we only have a few 6 minutes on this segment, but there's a new Ferrari coming out on the market called the Puro Sangue. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's Ferrari's first four-door vehicle, all-wheel drive vehicle.
Four-wheel drive.
And designed to be a sports car with four doors that also can go and handle any kind of weather and any kind of condition on any kind of road. So it's a real groundbreaker for us.
Wow.
I need to take it for a test drive. I think I need to test drive.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It's on the bucket list.
Well, let me ask you this question, though. I have been told, and you can clarify this, it's almost impossible to get a new Ferrari because they're sold out even before they come on the market. I mean, what would be the availability if somebody said, "Hey, I heard you on the radio. I'm going to come and buy one of these new four doors." Is that even possible?
No, it's harder than impossible. And we're told right now for all our existing Ferrari models, we were told about 5 months ago to stop taking deposits on all Ferrari models because they have so many orders.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is just absolutely incredible. I know they're impossible to get, but is it a fact that you have an unbelievable selection of previously owned models that that people can buy?
Right. That's important to have. We do get new shipments from Ferrari every month, which is nice. And then every once in a while, they're going to be introducing new models, like they just introduced the new Rome Spider, and that replenishes the order bank a bit. So it's kind of a fulfilling prophecy as the orders come in and some fresh orders are available only on new models when they decide to introduce them, which is not very often. Once or twice a year, they'll talk about a new model and they'll open an order bank. In the meantime, we have a lot of really nice pre-owned cars. And that's what we suggest you think about if you want something right away.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha.
To buy one of those and drive it while you're waiting for the new one. I know it sounds crazy. It's like the anti-car business. COVID was nothing new for us. The car dealers ran out of inventory. We never have any inventory. We don't have new inventory.
Wow.
Ferrari only builds sold cars.
What Rick? What I'm always impressed with when I come to your facility is your maintenance area. I'm going to call it an automotive hospital because it's that clean. I mean, mechanics walking around in white clothing. I mean, and just this place is so immaculate. I've never, ever in all my life, and I've been in the auto business also. My dad had a station for years and years in Berwyn. I've never seen any workshop that looked like that.
You know, if you provide the right setting for the technicians, they appreciate it, and it raises the grade of the work. And we really want the best work we can get done on the cars. It's not about speed, it's about quality.
Yeah. Well,
so we treat it like an intensive care area.
Yeah, it
sure really,
do.
Yeah. It shows the minute you walk in the door of your location. It's just 100%.
I did have a quick question because we're running out of time here, but you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But Rick, who is your favorite celebrity owner of a Ferrari from your location? Can you tell us anything like that?
Michael Jordan.
All right. That's kind of what I thought. Yes. We love him too.
Wow.
He was just a wonderful guy to deal with.
Yeah.
And
how many did he have?
Extremely gracious. Over the course of the years that he was in Chicago, we probably sold him a total of maybe 15 Ferraris.
Oh my gosh.
But at one point, he had all the starting lineup of the Bulls and Ferraris because everybody wanted to be like Mike.
Of course, yes.
And he said, then you better go buy a Ferrari for my buddy.
That's great.
He was a great sales guy.
Wow.
We think the world of MJ.
Still is. Great person.
I must say, you are the ultimate salesperson. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. We are so proud to be working with you on this auction because, you know, I've said before, you could have gone anywhere with the merchandise that you have, and you've allowed us to be part of your world, and we're going to work hard on this and not let you down. I'm sure.
That's a mutual feeling. And the reason that we're working with you guys is we just feel real good about everything that you do and the way you do it and the personalization and the focus. I think it's great.
Oh, Rick, thank you so much. That made my day. Well, thank you for joining the show. We'll talk more about the Ferrari auction in many shows coming up. I think we'll be looking at something later this summer, maybe? Who knows?
I would say, yeah.
I don't know. We'll keep you posted. You just have to go to donleyauctions.com to keep an eye on upcoming news and our dates. Rick, thank you very much. We'll see you soon. And Randy, any last words?
Well, I wondered if you had the answer yet. Are we while Rick's on the line,
Rick, do you know the answer to my trivia question?
I don't remember the car. I remember the woman.
I bet you do. Yes. Yes.
Great answer, Rick.
The brunette. Who cares about the movie?
Yeah.
Well, I will give everybody the answer at the end of the show. You got to wait till the end of the show.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Rick
Mancuso,
once again,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to Shauna Donley coming up next to give us an update on the Donley Group, our real estate division. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday on AM 560, The Answer.
And now, more of the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. Thank you for sticking with us during that break. And thank you to Rick Mancuso for joining us. I'm Susan. I'm co-owner of Donley Auctions, here with my lovely partner, Randy Donley. And we have Shauna Donley on the line with us talking about the Donley Group, our real estate division.
Hey, Shauna. Thanks for being on today. And, you know, just having Rick on the show a few minutes ago, it reminded me that many people have said to me, you know, where exactly does Shauna operate? Is she out in the country? Is she in the city? And, you know, I just thought, well, geez, Rick is right in Lake Forest, and certainly I know you're in that area also. You're up in the northern suburbs. So could you kind of tell everybody where all you operate?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you know, the Donley Group, we are a team of real estate brokers within At Properties, Christie's International. So we have a team that is located in a couple of different places. We've got offices actually at Donley Auctions and in Chicago, but we have a wide network. Just this week, I was all over the North Shore, Lake Forest, Highland Park, Deerfield, Northbrook, but that doesn't mean we don't go all the way north up to the border. We're licensed in Wisconsin. We do farmettes and other developments all over the southwest suburbs and northwest suburbs. Schaumburg, Elgin, Naperville, you name it. Just give us a call to find out if we work your area. But chances are we have someone on our team who specializes in exactly where you're at.
And, another thing I want to point out is I've seen you sell, multi-million-dollar properties as well as, a couple $100,000 bungalow. So you're all over the board as far as price range, and people shouldn't, be afraid to call you if they've got a very expensive property. I mean, that's really what you specialize in.
It's definitely one of the things that our team specializes in. High-end real estate is here to stay. I think prices continue to go up as interest rates are uncertain right now, but buyers are buying, and we are a full-service one-stop shop from drone photography, virtual staging. We do physical staging, and we can bring in things to spruce up your home. We work with contractors to help get those multi-million-dollar properties ready. But that also doesn't mean that if your house needs work or it hasn't been updated in years, that we can't either work with you to put the best foot forward, or we can sell houses as is as well. There are a lot of buyers out there who want to come in and do their own renovations.
Shauna, I was just at a home that had a antique car collection in it, and we're talking about possibly doing an auction right on site at this location. And of course, the first thing they said to me is, well, during your auction, if you're going to do it here, can you also have the property listed and show it right during the auction?
And we certainly can. That's the beauty about working with Donley Auctions, is that when we are doing these other auctions or cleaning out houses, we can also hold open houses and get the most foot traffic through the property, because a lot of people don't understand that an open house is also your first showing sometimes.
Absolutely. And one thing I just need to keep stressing to folks out there is, because they hear, Donley Auctions, they're thinking that all we do is auction the property, and I keep saying, no. Our real estate division is totally different. Yes, we will auction a property if it came to that, but in most cases, no. Shauna is selling the property outright, and in many times getting way more than asking price.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, because we've been very lucky working with our auction clients to list houses on the regular market. We go both on the private network first, then the public market, and a lot of times our houses do sell over asking with multiple offers, but that has to do with the way we market the property. I always work with our sellers to make sure that we have a clear decision for how we're moving forward and what the plan is. But interestingly enough, we had this home out in Brookfield that I know I've spoken about before on the show, and it needed adjustment in price or photos or something, but the sellers and I held firm. And with the way the market is so rapidly changing, we were on the market for a while, but we just got multiple offers this last weekend, and now we're under contract.
Hey, congratulations.
Wow.
So that's why devising that plan to work with your broker is so important, so we're all on the same page.
Boy, it sure is.
And real quick, Shauna, let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
Yes, please go to the Donley Auctions website, click on the real estate tab on the top. It'll take you to my personal website. You can email me, call me, text me. My cell phone number's right on there, and I'm always available.
Wonderful.
And the same is true, folks, for all of you who want us to come and look at your collections. It's the same thing. You need to contact us. That's the first way. We can't find you any other way than you contacting us. Either, what's the best way, Susan?
Our phone number is 815-923-7000. If you want to call and talk to somebody. A lot of people like to email us, too. Email us at consign, CONSIGN, at Donley, DONLEY, auctions.com. Just tell us who you are, where you are, and what you have, and we will take it from there.
Wow.
Yes, Shauna, thank you so much for that update. Any last bit of news in the real estate world?
Oh, goodness. Well, the inflation report was not as everyone had hoped, so we're still not sure what's happening with rates. But if you're a buyer, give me a call. I can link you with one of my preferred lenders, and we can set a plan for your desired purchase price, your timeline, and we will make you a homeowner.
Wow. I'm so glad you're part of our team. Shauna, thank you so much for that information and joining the show today. We'll see you back at the auction house soon enough.
You bet.
Sounds great.
And
so
folks,
much.
we do have an auction going on right now.
Yes, we do.
We're in the middle of our gun auction as we speak, and tomorrow, Sunday, is our big military auction.
That's right. So head on out to Union if you'd like to bid live. Come on out. All you need is a FOID card and a driver's license. Really, we'll keep it simple. And then tomorrow for the military auction, you just come on out for pizza and coffee and donuts. That's for sure.
Or go online.
That's right. Thank you for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday on AM 560, The Answer. And you know what? I have the answer to the trivia question coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You big tease.
The Donley Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour talking about items you might have at home in your garage or attic that you'd like to put up for auction. 2024 is the year, folks. It's time to downsize and get some items off to auction. So give us a call at 815-923 if you have any questions about that. But first of all, we have an auction going on this weekend, our firearms and military auction. A couple ways to bid. We always talk about our sellers. I want to talk about our bidders. You can come out live, 8512 South Union Road in Union, Illinois. Try to say that fast. And you can bid in person, right? Or if you can't make it out, you can call us with an absentee bid or even a phone bid.
And, of course, items we're looking for. Now, I just got a phone call during the break. We do have a gentleman who just called with a Mills Vilano that he's consigning to the April auction.
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much for that phone call.
The big annual spring classic.
You bet. So we've got to send our guys to pick that up. But, I mentioned earlier, we're right now putting together an interesting auction of gangster and prohibition memorabilia. So if you have anything in that regard. And always people are saying, Randy, I hear you kind of talking about the same stuff all the time on the air. Well, yes, because that's what we sell. But if you have items or collections that you want us to talk about on the air or that you have or anything, we need to hear from you.
Oh, yeah, because last week we talked about paperweights. Who would have thought? But some of those are extremely valuable. Nobody really knows that until they talk to us and, tell us what you have for sure.
And, we had a marble expert on the air some time ago.
Marbles, like the little round marbles, not marble like sheets of marble.
Marbles, as in the round, toys that kids played with and so on and so forth. And we now have a nice collection of marbles coming up in our toy auction, which is March 23rd and 24th.
Yeah.
So that'll be online very soon within the next week or so. So you want to check that out.
That's right. Toys and Trains coming up in March. We have the Ordnance Collection on March 16th. We have almost 1,000 items.
Wow.
In that Ordnance Collection. That's already online. Go to DonleyAuctions.com to check out that catalog. The Spring Classic in April.
And we've got a stereo collection that we're going to be doing live in Lake Geneva.
Well, it's vintage electronics. And, I really wanted a turntable. I have so many records. I'm buying a turntable with that one. That's in Lake Geneva. Okay. So we'll keep you posted on the date for that as well. So you want the answer to the trivia question real quick because our subject of the day was Ferrari.
Repeat the question.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
Which James Bond movie featured a Ferrari F355 Targa GTS coupe?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know the answer.
No.
Okay, it was GoldenEye. Came out in 1995 with Pierce Brosnan. Now, the woman that Mancuso remembered, her name is Famke Janssen. She was Swiss, I think, or Dutch. She was Dutch. So, have you seen the movie?
No, you know what? I'm sure I have. I've
fans.
seen them all. I was going to guess Goldfinger myself, one of the early
close.
ones. But
GoldenEye. Great scene if you ever get a chance to watch it. And also, of course, the Ferrari and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a movie you have not seen yet, but those were replicas. And I have interesting information about they made 4 of them. 4 replicas. Because can you imagine the Ferrari community? They'd be outraged if they knew they were using real Ferraris in the movie.
Well, yeah.
There were only 56 of the real ones made. They would just be furious. So they had 4 replicas.
Yeah, there's no way the studio could have afforded that either.
Exactly right. And they had to make them automatic transmission because Matthew Broderick could not drive a manual.
Oh, my goodness.
A little bit of trivia about a movie you haven't seen yet. That's right. For now, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley. And we'll see you at the auction.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. Check out all the latest information on upcoming auctions and collectibles at DonleyAuctions.com. And while you're there, you can contact someone about buying or selling your collectibles or estates. That's DonleyAuctions.com.